Welcome to a second update today, and as much as we wanted to discuss a different altcoin today, I think it's more important to start discussing what we are seeing on the markets as Bitcoin is dropping. It lost its 56k level, and in the meantime we also see that equity markets are dropping while the dollar is showing strength upwards. We're going to discuss that in this update and give you a slight insight in what might be moving the markets at this point. But before we're going to continue, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our giveaway that is also acting right now. We've announced the winners for the second day. And also do not forget to check out my Twitter and Instagram, where you can find daily content on the markets. And as you can see, we are back in red light district. I'm also kind of warm right now. I don't know how, but I'm feeling the same color as what we see back in the back. So when we're looking at the markets right now, we've just had an ocean of information. So payrolls came out, in which we can see that the payrolls were 50% or more lower than what was expected. And after that, we've got some information, or we got some news in which the Fed wants to accelerate tapering, and they want to start hiking the interest rates as well. So accelerating tapering means that the entire QE, what we are seeing right now, so quantitative easing, in which we print a ton of money, which we have been doing with the pandemic in the past 1.5 years, through which the Fed balance sheet has started to shoot up heavily. That has impacted the markets, and that's why we've seen that the dollar has been dropping down heavily, through which the inflation increased, and through which we also see that equity markets have been doing well and Bitcoin has been doing great as well. But now the fact that they are looking, or they are seeing that the inflation is increasing heavily, they start to find some fear in the fact that the inflation is going up so fast. So they want to start making an impact on that and making the prices stable once again, as they see that jobs are doing pretty much fine. So accelerating tapering means that the entire quantitative easing that we are what we are currently seeing is going to be slowed down. And because of a tighter monetary policy, the dollar will be showing strength, and the dollar will be starting to shoot up. So that is something to take into mind, and especially given the fact that in 2022, the Fed wants to hike the interest rate, to increase the interest rate, and that's definitely going to impact the prices. So something that you should be keeping in mind are the yields, although they are dropping a little at this point too. You should be watching the yields, and you should be watching the strength of the dollar. We have been covering it a lot here, and because of the payroll news and the actual notes after that from the Fed, we can see that Bitcoin is dropping a little. So what are we going to expect with the price of Bitcoin? We might be in for some more corrections as long as the dollar is going to show strength. In that case, being cautious in the markets is fine. In that case as well, macroeconomics are actually taking an impact on the price of Bitcoin at this point. And I think it's becoming more and more clear that you should be understanding what that means. And you should be understanding that it might be having an impact on your positions as well if you are into the markets at this stage. When are we going to get some more QE? Well, if we're going to get more lockdowns, if there are going to be a heavier impact from the Omicron variant, which is not the case right now, we could be getting an extended QE, and then we might be delaying the actual tapering. So that will be bullish for the markets. But as of the news today, it looks like we're going to see some more downwards momentum. At least we have broken beneath 56k, and we're going to cover that in the next corner regarding TA. So let's head towards the charts. So when we're looking at the price action, I think the first one we have to look at is the dollar index, which is the DXY, which is currently showing a resistance point and a fact that we have been starting to run up in the past month, and actually past months, in which Bitcoin has not been showing too much strength, right? So right now we are facing a resistance point, in which we can also see that during the day we've had some slight run-ups at this point, which has caused a move of Bitcoin. What is key point here is that we're currently still facing resistance, through which we are not having any breakout to that regard. The moment that we're going to break above this and start shooting up some more, I think we should be relatively focused on the fact that this could be impacting the price of Bitcoin heavily. We can also see that during this run-up, Bitcoin has been in a bear market as well, and during this run-up, Bitcoin has been into a bear market too. So the fact that Bitcoin is not crashing too much at all is actually a strong sign, but it is something we should be keeping in our minds when we are trading into the cryptocurrency markets and when we are trading Bitcoin. So when we're looking at Bitcoin overall, I actually have to get a different chart here. What we are seeing is that we're getting into a phase where we are into an area that we're breaking beneath the recent support. So we're losing this level at 56k, which was important to hold. We still have a final slight support area, which is this block where we are bouncing from right now. But what the chart actually shows to us is that we are making lower highs and lower lows. So as a matter of fact, the chances are that we're going to continue dropping down at this stage, especially if the dollar is continuing to show strength, or when there are more rumors about the fact that we're going to taper or going to hike the interest rates, as that is also impacting the equity markets at this point. So we've broken beneath the actual level of 56k. We are bouncing slightly already, which is a good sign. But when we're looking at the lower time frames, the important level that we have to break at this point is breaking back above this previous support at 56.2. If we're not going to do that, it seems very likely that we're going to continue the downwards trend, and then we might be facing ourselves a new lower low, as I have been discussing on this channel with the levels that we should be watching. So we've broken south, and in order to gain back with the momentum, you want to see 56 flip for support, as then we can start targeting the other side of the range. Or you want to see a bottom confirmation in which we take out the recent low and bounce back immediately. When we're looking at Ether against Bitcoin, we still come to the conclusion that I'm not too satisfied of Ether at this point, especially when it comes to the 3-day. We do have this breakout above the recent high, but we're also seeing weakness in the recent hours since Bitcoin started to correct. So Ethereum against USDT has been correcting a little bit more at this point, through which we can see some slight weakness. Is that too bad? No, but it's something to take into mind that the moment that Bitcoin might be correcting more and doesn't regain 56k, altcoins might be correcting heavily too, as people are going from risk off towards USDT, are going risk off and going towards USDT positions a little bit more. That's the update for today. Tomorrow I'll be back with another one about lengthening cycles. Do not forget to subscribe beneath and have a wonderful weekend.